You get hurt, hurt them back. You get killed, walk it off. Hello, and welcome to a new comic book review episode. These comics, a lot of them I read within the last 2 weeks, so refreshing my memory and stuff I'm gonna have to look into them and see what we got here. But yeah, we got a nice little stack, so let's get to it. See what we got to talk about this week. We got the Avengers #1 Marvel 100th Anniversary Special. This was an interesting one. I just read this one last night, so it's easy enough to remember what's going on with this. I suppose I should wear glasses if I'm going to do some reading. I do the old lady style, run it off my nose so I can see everything outside of it. But this is previously on the Avengers. Consolidating after the brutal Seventh Gender War, the Badoon Empire finds itself stronger than ever, rapidly expanding outward along the galactic spiral. Their armada finally finds itself at Earth's doorstep. The Avengers, Earth's mightiest heroes, heed the call to action and fight off wave after wave of the seemingly endless Badoon. Finally, with the sudden intervention of Dr. Franklin Richards, Herald of Galactus, the Badoon are thrown back into the depths of space to lick their wounds. But the war has cost the Earth dearly. A great flood of biospores litter the globe, slowly poisoning its atmosphere. Perhaps most devastating was the Great Terror Weapon, launched in the opening stages of the invasion, transporting the entire American continent into the strange and unknowable negative zone. Now, with most of its members scattered, the few remaining Avengers regroup at their home base in America and home base in Malaysia, while a grief-stricken Captain America embarks on a one-man odyssey into the negative zone to find his lost homeland. So yeah, the main Avengers are out in the negative zone partying it up, while we have our new Avengers taking control and dealing with what we got. We got Doctor Strange, we got Better Ray Bill, and we got Rogue. And they're dealing with the Mole Man. We got the world covered in all this stuff left over from this whole Badoon thing. And what are all these spores all over the Earth that wiped out other planets, and apparently they're explosive, or they got explosive materials all over the place. There's people trying to unarm all the explosive items so they don't detonate and blow the whole Earth to shit. But while they're doing that, the Mole Man and a bunch of the characters pop out of the woodwork and start attacking. And our Avengers have to figure out something to do with them, and they do a pretty fun thing with it. I really like what they did with this little twist. Change things up, because I'm not a fan of the Mole Man. He's really boring to me. He's one of those characters like the big head character. I can't remember his name right now. But he's just so stupid. He was in the latest Ant-Man movie, which wasn't that bad. It was probably one of my favorite Ant-Man movies, and I expected it to be my most hated one. The other ones I didn't care for, but this one I didn't mind as much. MODOK, that's his dumbass. Why they put MODOK in there? And the guy's got so many storylines. Why? Who knows? Somebody out there likes him. Then we got Avengers Annual. This is from 2014. It's the most loneliest time of the year. Just hearing that, I remember what this story was about now. We basically got the crew taking off. Tony, Shang-Chi, and the gang are all headed out for the holidays. And Captain America is left behind to deal with the Avengers castle And while he does, just before he goes, they have some young students, future mutants, whatever they are, going through the Avengers Tower. And while everybody leaves to go on Christmas vacation, apparently some of the kids don't leave, and some things happen that they caused to happen. And you gotta read the story to find out what caused them to do what they do and why it happens that way and how everybody spent their vacation. It all comes out to be a really fun story. That was enjoyable. I'm not a huge Avengers, X-Men, the group entity fan, because every one of the groups has so many characters that are just fighting and feuding between each other, and that just bores the shit out of me. And it's like, you have superpowers, and yet you gotta have attitude with each other too. It's like, Jesus Christ, I mean, what more do you want? You're billionaires, you're got powers, you can do what you want, but you all gotta fight over the same girl. You all gotta fight over all these little piddly things. It's just, yeah. That's why I like single entity comics. This one's enjoyable, but this group even gets into their little crappy little argument of pissy ass little moments. But got Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Lost Summer one shot. Into every generation a Slayer is born, a chosen one. They alone will wield the strength and skill to fight the vampires, demons, and the forces of darkness, to stop the spread of their evil and the swell of their numbers. They are the Slayer. In this one, we have, is it Dawn, Little Miss Summers? Dawn. She is doing a school, what I did on my summer vacation report, and it gets into our storyline of where Spike happens to see on a road show, like a kind of like an antiques road show, that they are auctioning off a book that they found, and it just so happens it takes us back into a storyline that this happens to be something that Spike wrote. And it's a fun look at something Spike wants back, and so he uses certain excuses to get the rest of the gang to go on a road trip and travel to this place where they're having this auction, and telling them that there's going to be other powered items and things that they can possibly get that shouldn't be out there, things from the demon realm and all that. And they go down there, and some little twist happens, and things happen to some of the group, and it's a great one shot. I think you could easily enjoy that story if you've never read a Buffy story before in your life. It's just a fun little story about a search for something that someone wants back, and you kind of get a little taste of the characters throughout it because they're traveling together, going on a road trip, and that's always got a unique little uh, way to get people to do certain things, have certain things happen, bring up old events and stuff like that. That was well done. All right, we got Cerulean Dreams, Space Between Annual 2023. This is another Kickstarter style thing that I picked up that I did the unpacking for last week, I believe, or the week before. But I wasn't sure what this was. I was thinking it was just, when I got it, that it was just a new story, but it happens to have 3 different teaser stories in here. One for Smoke Weed, See the Future, the dating game, written by Pat Chand, art by John McGinnis, colors by Finn Cram, created by Pat Chand, Meet Taylor Hart. She was born a seer, which means that she can look at a person and see their future. All her life, it's been both a gift and a curse. While attempting to grow a strain of marijuana to help control her visions, she ended up creating weed that helps regular people see what she sees. A glimpse of what comes next. This story takes place before, during, and after Smoke Weed See the Future Volume 2, which I can't wait to get. The first one was excellent. I'm looking forward to the rest of this. But yeah, she gets high, gets her people high that she's working with, and then they get to see the visions, and she gets to help them along the way with things. And this is an enjoyable story of a girl that's going through some issues, trying to find someone that she can have a relationship with, and while she does, she tries different things, and she sees what the visions of her life is with each of these people that she brings in, and she learns some things that she wants to go with, and who she should be with, and all that. It's just a enjoyable story that way. And then we have Vix of Afterglow, This World. 100 years ago. This is written by Jeff Mazie, art by Ariel Madel, colors by Leonardo Pacchiarati, and created by Pat Shand. 100 years ago, an event called the Glowing ended the world as we know it, leaving the survivors with an Earth that has been changed. Water is radioactive, animals have mutated, and the world has been painted with beautiful, dangerous, glowing colors. Most of the remaining society has broken into villages in an attempt to rebuild the world they lost. But for the women of the Nimbone, the threat of the mutated animals lurking in the forest makes every day uncertain. This is the origin story of Vix the Hunter. I'm like, yeah, she's a hunter. She's going to kill things and just all these creatures she's hunting down and stuff. She's lost members of her family, and so she hunts down the characters that caused those issues with her family, and she goes after the pups, captures the pups, the parent comes out. It's like, she's so cruel. It's like, they're so cute. Why do you want to hurt them? Yeah, they're evil little predators themselves and have to kill to survive, but they're so cute. I want one. But yeah, there's some fun characters in this. I don't want to show any more pictures because these are all shorter stories and I don't want to ruin anything, but I definitely will look into Vix the Hunter a little bit more from the world of Afterglow. I know it's got a Kickstarter going, I believe, right now, but I don't think I'm going to back the Kickstarter yet. I'm going to wait and see where the storyline goes first and wait for a trade, I think. But yeah, it was very enjoyable. Then we got Destiny New York, Right Now and Always, written by Pat Shand, art by Carl Malloy, colors by Finn Cram, created by Pat Shand and Manuel Pritano. Meet Logan McBride. She was the subject of a mystical prophecy as a child. She completed her destiny when she was only 13. Now she's in her 30s, trying and failing to bring meaning to a life in which people tell her she's already done the most important thing she'll ever do. The story takes place between Destiny New York, Volume 5 and Volume 6. I have not jumped on Destiny New York. I'm very glad I got this Cerulean Dreams because it gave me this teaser to Destiny New York, and I definitely want to read more about this story. So we got a couple gals that go on a ayahuasca style retreat, and the visions that are seen are different than what a person was expecting. And because of those visions, she's got to figure out something with her life and how she's going to change things. And it was interesting and definitely caught my eye. I definitely want to check out more of Destiny New York, but that was my first little teaser. So That was cool. I liked it. I must have reviewed number 2. I'm pretty sure I reviewed number 2 a while back. But we got number 3 of Creepy Cat. This is fun. Interesting manga about people that have the powers to, well, not, they don't have the powers. These cats have special powers, and they duplicate, they enlarge, they shrink, they change into different things. They do so. There's so many different types of cats. And I really love how well this is done. We can't find issue number 1 because it's every time we find it, it's really expensive. But we got 2, 3, and I believe 4 so far. But catastrophe looms in the gloom. Flora has settled into her haunted mansion with the increasingly bizarre and mischievous Creepy Cat. It's a nice life, if she can keep it. But what will Flora do when sneaky assassins come for her? Will she end up as one more ghost in her own house? Or will Creepy Cat outprowl and outswat those bad boys? The scary cute adventure continues. Yeah, we got this other character. He's hooked up with one of the Creepy Cat style cats. There's a lady that controls other creepy cats in here. And it's just it's like here the cat basically swallows her and protects her, completely covers her except for her face, and just these cats are hilarious. The things they do, a little demon summoning circle going on with the white and black happy cats or creepy cats, happy cats. But yeah, this is very well done, very enjoyable. I get a picture of the one cat when he's all poofed. I can't get a really good one, but he's all poofed up there. These stories are a lot of fun, but I gotta somehow find the original issue without paying out the butt. But yeah, Creepy Cat, great series, story and art by Cotton Ballant. On that one, company wise, not sure. 7 Seas it looks like, but it's manga. So then we checked out Dark Knight's Death Metal, the Multiverse Who Laughs. I don't think I've checked out any Dark Knight Death Metals before. Although I feel like I would have ordered this one because of the cover. But I must have skipped it because I don't remember the story. But still, in the thrall of the Batman Who Laughs, the DC universe remains overtaken by the dark multiverse. 52 Earths, where evil has triumphed and nightmares have become reality, each more twisted than the last. Let the Robin King introduce you to a collection of stories of worlds gone wrong, worlds where Victor Szazaz grossly underestimates the power at play in Arkham Asylum, where the super pets are the last defenders of a dying Earth, where a lantern ring is an insidious thing, and where fear has infected the very air. The old rules no longer apply, and no one is laughing now. And yeah, you got your little Robin King there, character, telling the stories of what's going on. All the little evil Robins. But yeah, you got Robin King and Scary Stories to Tell the Dark Multiverse, which is a fun one. I don't want to ruin these. They're a bunch of little stories. You can imagine what happens with all the different characters and what they're going through. And you get a lot of your fun bad guys throughout here, and then, of course, the super pets through all these stories. You got Zaz in Feeding the Beast. I mean, there's so many people involved with this. The first story's got Scott Snyder, James Tynion the fourth, Joshua Williamson, Juan Gideon, Mike Spicer, Owls, Troy Petrieri. Second story's got Patton Oswalt, Sanford Green, David Barron, Josh Reed. And you got Super Pets in the Super Threats with Amanda Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti, Chad Harden, Enrica and Aaron Angolini, and Carlos M. Mangual. You got Green Arrow and Green Lantern in Hard Traveled. This is a fun story between them two trying to work things out. Saladin Ahmed, Scott Eaton, Norm Ratmund, and Eloise Troy Petiri. And you got Steel in the Fear Index. That was probably my least favorite story of all these. Brandon Thomas, Thomas Mandrake, Sion Mandrake, and Darren Bennett. But yeah, these are all well done. All have their fun little twist on how they solve the problems, what's going on with everything. It's like it's hard to even show anything. It's like there's some our super pets. But yeah, the stories being so short and stuff, I don't want to show anything, give anything away. You can imagine by the names of the stories and that what's up with it being a Halloweeny type thing. You can imagine what's going to happen or kind of twist that they're going to play with and stuff. But they did a good job giving them a little different storyline to those twists and things. Sorry, but my coffee's going cold. Got the air running. I don't want to get down to that last sip being ice. Alright. We got Defenders, the best defense. Nice little Stanley commemorative cover. Main reason I picked this one up was for that. I love the man, miss the man. I hate that they're depicting the man the way they are right now. But so it always happens. Once you're gone and you can't defend yourself, all the little assholes come out and start shit. But yeah, you got Doctor Strange from Earth's cataclysmic future burned out his physical body to throw his astral form back in time to contact the immortal Hulk, who came across his body in a barn and recovered the eye of Agamotto from a homeless man. Meanwhile, the Silver Surfer arrived at an impossible cosmic train of planets, hoping to find one life worth saving so Galactus would look elsewhere for sustenance before he could depart. His board raced off to rescue Namor, the Submariner, who'd traveled the planet Vodon to seek reinforcements for his war against the surface. His entreaties ended violently, with both Namor and the King of Vodon cast into the void of space outside the cosmic train. And inside the train itself, something in a bedsheet seems to be murdering a lot of people. But yeah, this is a story about this cosmic train and device that just goes around collecting planets for Galactus to eat. I'm assuming it goes way ahead of Galactus and it starts collecting these planets. And when they go into this furnace, this thing, you got a beast that's kind of controlling this whole train and furnace thing. This entity died on top of the train, apparently, and then something happened to it, caused it to control things in a certain way. And because of it, you got planets that are being picked off one by one and are going to be destroyed and wiped out completely, and our heroes are trying to find a way to fix these issues. And it was enjoyable. It was a good story. I like the Defenders. I don't like the end of it, like the Defenders series they had on whatever it was, CW or whatever. I like that. I didn't care for I was bummed. I was looking forward to Iron Fist. Didn't care for Iron Fist. I was looking forward to uh, what's his name? Power. Oh, come on. Yeah, Power Man. Stuck in my head, but that's not it. But yeah, you had each Daredevil and stuff, each of the different characters, and then they did the Defenders series. I like the Defenders series. I wish they would have ran at least one or two more seasons of that instead of doing all the individual crap. But sadly, they didn't. But that was the best one out of all of them. Another Kickstarter style. This I think came from Zoop. But we got our 5th issue of Dwellings. A really fun Harvey comic style adult version. Harvey comic style, if you like the old drawings of like Casper and Richie Rich, Wendy, and all those old school, old style characters, you definitely enjoy this if you like the adult horror twist to it. You get all your fun parody advertisements and goofy things throughout the comic. The paper is beautiful, newspaper style feel to it, so you get that style like you're back in the day reading it. And another advertisement is like a parody on the fun little toys you used to be able to buy, the cheesy dog poop you could lay down, the whoopee cushions, all that. But yeah, in the storyline, our characters are trying to get some information, kind of mafia style, and learn more about some people, and it pulls off all the other stories well and keeps our storyline going with our characters that are still around. We got a gal that's being hunted by a police officer that she's a mass murderer type that he's hunting down. She's getting in trouble, and I can't show you anymore because I don't want to ruin the story for you, but she gets arrested by him, goes through some things, and there's other people trying to hunt her and other people down, and she's trying to get to other people. It's just, you can imagine they're just going back and forth trying to get their bad guy to get their gal, and take her down, and while she's trying to do what she's trying to do, and all the things collide, and all kinds of fun happens. There's little touches that take you back to the other stories if you read them. I do not suggest jumping on this on issue 5, but I believe it was the June previews catalog, either June or July. I'm pretty sure it was the June one. No, I'm not sure because I just did the July one, so it could have been the July one. But they have the first uh, volume of this run, so get it, check it out. You're gonna love it if you're like old school comics and you like horror parody style. Well, it's not really horror parody, I would say. It's more just a look at those style characters dealing with the horror aspect. And they have lots of fun twists in the horror style realm that do click into it. But yeah, I definitely check out Dwellings #1. Now you can pre-order it through your comic shop or online, or wait for it to come out in a couple months and pick up your copy then, because it's a fun series. So I think there's going to be 6 issues in this series. I'm looking forward to hearing when the last Kickstarter kicks off. And there you go too. If you keep an eye out for the Kickstarter, I'm sure you'll be able to buy all the first 5 issues off the Kickstarter too. They always have the extra add-ons you can do. I got one sip left, and I'm gonna finish it off. Wow, it's warm. Not really. It's pretty cold, but yeah. So check those out. It's lots of fun. Alright, I got Extreme Venomverse. Venomverse. Number 2. And number 3. I reviewed number 1 a while back. And the reason I jumped on these is I ordered number 4 because Jeff the Landshark's on the cover. All venomized. So I had to have that. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know these had little short stories. I mean, it's kind of like they should have done this. Venomverse, black, white, and red. And then I would have jumped on it. But calling it Extreme Venomverse, I thought it was an ongoing story. I didn't know each one had like three short stories in it. It's just very well done. Lots of fun. Great stories. A couple were but yeah, most of them I like so far. Something is hunting Venoms with extreme prejudice. While blood spills across the multiverse, a bevy of unsuspecting symbiotes and their host are sitting ducks, as a violent and visceral force seeks to rend them limb from limb in an extreme Venomverse. You have Felicia Hardy in the sinister secret of Black Cat's new costume. You got life model Venom in The Prisoner. Well, the first one's done by Al Ewing, Vincenzo Caratu, and Federico Blee. Second one's done by David Pipose, Ken Lashley, and Cece Dela Cruz. Then we got Hieronymus Skeleton, the Venom of 1602, and Mask of Red Death by Clay McLeod Chapman, Paul Davidson, and Alex Gimares, and VC's Joe Sabino. But yeah, these are all great. You got a little Carnage battle going on. You got, oh, come on, what's his name? Dum Dum Dugan. I love that character. I love that he's put in one of these stories. And just see him play with a prisoner and venomize him and deal with that. And Black Cat dealing with her venomized outfit. And it's just, I love watching when these characters get. And the Black Cat story, they have a nice little twist with Spidey and Spider-Man in here that brings a spider character that I haven't seen in comics other than one other time, a long time ago. So it was fun seeing that again. But yeah, and then in issue number 3, we got Black Fang in Greatness and Catastrophe by Jed McKay, Daniel Earls, and Alex Guimarães, and Madame Brock in Best Little Horror House by Taran Killam and Rod Reese. Then Venom Space Night by Wetworks by Clay McLeod Chapman, Nelson Daniel, and Antonio Fabiello with VC's Joe Sabino. Again, we get a variety of great stories that take us different Earths, different worlds, back in time, and all this. And you get a prehistoric storyline with the Venom character. You get another Spidey crossover twist that takes us back kind of like into a Western days atmosphere. Old school frontier style storyline, and then one that kind of takes us to a space colony, space prison style storyline that all have wonderful little twists and turns that keep you happy and enjoyable. And then we got number 1 to 5 of Gravity, which I found it for a really good deal, all 5 of them, and I brought it home. And I started reading it, and to my surprise, it's a story about a kid from Wisconsin that got some powers that he can manipulate gravity, and he's going off to college, and I believe in New York. And while he does, he happens to see other superheroes and villains, and wants to make his name for himself while he's going to college, and help out the good guys. And while he does some things wrong and learns some things, hooks up with some other characters that I don't want to ruin along the way, that teach him some things or manipulate him in some ways, or just do things to help him get through the learning process of being fresher to the whole superhero villain realm. And he learns lots of things along the way, plus has his troubles with school, girlfriends, all that, as many characters have in the past. But it's a character from Wisconsin. It's a new power. Look at a new style of power. And it was very well done. I want more of this character. I'm hoping I can find more of this character. I don't think he does have anything else out there, but we will see. People that were involved in this, I should at least give them a mention out. I hate when they put stuff a few pages in. But you got Jonathan Clapian, Guru FX Colors, BC's Corey Patet, Jacob Shabbat, Nathan Crosby, Mackenzie Cadenhead, Mark Panacea, Joe Caseta, and Dan Buckley. And it's created by Sean McKeever and Mike Norton. I've heard of Mike Norton before, but Sean McKeever, I don't think I've ever heard of before. I'm hoping there's more of that character out there, and we'll get to see it in the future. We're going a little long on this one. I usually like to keep these under a half hour, but I only have a few comics left, so I might as well finish them off. Starting with Archie Horror, Chilling Adventures presents Jinx, A Cursed Life. His Chilling Adventure stories have been wonderful. They're one-shots, usually, at least all the ones that I remember reading prior to this. You got a story by Magdalene Visaggio, line art by Craig Cermak, colors by Ellie Wright, letters by Jack Morelli, and lots of other people involved in covers and stuff like that. But it's very well done. Typical artwork. You get the Archie style artwork with a little darkness to it. She's going to deal with the devil. Jinx Holiday is a firecracker and a fire starter. Destruction always follows in her wake, and sometimes weirdos stop her and talk about her destiny. It's all combined to create quite an aura, the aura of a mystery around a 14-year-old girl who just wants some pizza rolls. And while her soul might belong to Satan, her heart belongs to the electric guitar. But one day, when Archie Andrews comes looking for her help, because Jughead is acting weird, Jinx and her best friend Danny embark on a mission to exorcise Jughead. It's the two BFFs versus Satan for the good of humanity. Or at very least, for Jinx to be free to be a normal teenage girl who just happens to dabble in necromancy and rock and roll. And she makes Archie pay for it if he wants to have Jughead helped out. So that was a great story. I don't want to give any more of that one away. That gives you the perfect synopsis of what's going on with everything here. Wonderful run. If you like war stories that have a twist, interesting characters and stuff, check this out. This is Junkyard Joe, number 6, the final one. The piece de resistance of this storyline It is done by Geoff Johns and Gary Frank, Brad Anderson, and Rob Lay. It starts us with a platoon of heroes who have a character in their midst that's part of their group that they don't realize is a robot. His name is Junkyard Joe. It's the wonderful robot that protects them, takes care of them, and one of the members of the group just so happens to start a little newspaper comic about Junkyard Joe when he comes back home. Keeps the Junkyard Joe storyline going, but believing that it wasn't real, that they didn't actually have that character in their platoon, and it's just all in their minds. And Junkyard Joe just happens to appear on his doorstep one day and lost, confused, looking for help, looking for someone that he can relate to, and isn't going to treat him like shit. And that's what we got to take into account with AI coming out at a rapid pace without our choice. Many of us don't want AI, but we have no choice. This world lets people build whatever the hell they want without getting full permission from the world to say, okay, go ahead, stick a giant hadron collider in the middle of our Earth and have it spinning around trying to recreate the Big Bang inside the only livable planet that we have in our solar system that we can reach at the moment. It's like, let's blow ourselves up. So let's build nuclear bombs. Let's do atomic bombs. Let's just make sure we have enough of them to blow the Earth up 100 times over, or 1,000 times over, or 10,000 times over. Let's sit there and build AI so we can make a robot that thinks like a human and can wipe out the humans and take over the humans. It's like all these things that are being done by the 1%, the rich pricks, the piece of shit that run everything because no one can do anything about it because there's just too much out there to stop anybody from trying to do anything, and no one's got the balls to build a big enough of a revolution to do anything. So we're never going to advance. We're just going to wipe ourselves off this planet and probably blow our own planet up, which sucks. Yes. Mother Earth doesn't deserve what we've done to it so far, and we're just going to keep destroying her until she decides, fuck it, I'm sick of you assholes, and wipes us off the Earth. Let the animals have it back. At least they aren't destroying the shit. Here we are. And then the last one I am going to talk about is Rotten Apple. This is by Dark Horse Comics. Created by Sanford Green, Chuck Brown, story by Chuck Brown, art and cover by Sanford Green, colors by Tyson Hess and Sanford Green, letters by Steve Oututro. This is a gal that's in a zombified world, trying to get through the day, deal with her things, dealing with other entities. There's cults in here, there's zombies, there's demons, and she just keeps battling her way through all this stuff. We got some Men in Black style. I gotta get a good picture of this crew. Yeah, there's a perfect one. Men in Black style characters that have these animal heads that she crosses paths with and has to deal with along the way. Whether or not they're helping her or hindering her or after her or after the same thing she's after, you'll have to read the story to find out. We get Cthulhu style characters in here and demons that we're dealing with. So you got all kinds of entities, from cults to zombies to kaiju style characters to who knows what not. Crazy stuff. My stuff's falling over. But yeah, that was another enjoyable, fun, interesting oddball comic that I just happened to pick up. Got a deal on. Figured what the heck, check it out. Sure as shit, it was fun. I like doing that. That's it for today. I'm going to end that. Rate, review, tell a friend, subscribe, click that like button. Anything to help us out. We're giving you free entertainment. The least you can do is click that little button for me. Help me out. We need it. We got to get this entity built up, or this entity is going to disappear, and we don't want that to happen. At least I don't. Hopefully you don't either. So help us out if you can. Spread the word. Go on your comic sites and just put a thing up. Hey, did you ever check out Under the Color of MS? They got some great unpacking videos and great comic videos and all this other shit. Who knows what you might like? I got everything out there, from health to MS to dementia to comics to video games to who knows. I'm doing whatever I feel like doing as I go. But yeah, keep checking out our YouTube, our podcast, our Instagram, all Under the Color of MS. Instagram has an underscore in between each word. But yeah, we'll be back again soon. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll keep doing it. So take care. Check out Crimson Color Comic Club also, and you'll find out in the show notes of there the end credits of all our other offshoots of our podcast. Eventually, one day, I'll figure out what I'm supposed to represent and promote without causing any issues with any of the other people running their shows. But yeah, we enjoy this. So help us keep going, and we'll keep doing it for you. Talk to you later. Bye.